Welcome back. Today we're going to be making a DIY project that is super important for every member of your family. It is a first aid kit. And so the first thing that you'll want to do is choose the case that you're going to use for that. doTERRA has these that are wonderful. They're keychains and they hold 8 bottles of oil that you can see down in there. They come with the bottles. So these are perfect for your purse. They don't have a lot of room for other things in there, but you can't beat this for getting 8 bottles of oil in your purse or a backpack or your desk, right? Another option would be this larger case. This is something you can pick up like in the travel section at a store. It will usually come, it's sold as a first aid kit, but it'll usually come with some band aids and things in there, which are also useful. You probably want to leave some of those in there. So it's just a handy little case. This is probably more suited for like your car or a larger bag, maybe backpack, sports bags if you're headed off to the ballpark, things like that. So the next thing that you're going to need to get are these sample bottles. They come in a 1/4 dram size, so it will hold about 20 drops, and also a 5/8 gram size that will hold about 35 drops or so. So choose the one you think is best based on the size of your case, what will fit in there, but also the difference in the drops. You'll be refilling the smaller one a little more often than you'll be refilling the larger one, especially if you have a large family. But if this is a personal kit just for you, the small ones are going to be fine for that. So, another thing that I suggest that you get, you don't have to get this, but it makes it very handy for filling these little bottles, is this tool. So, this will remove the orifice reducers on small sample size bottles, and this one does the larger bottles, like the 5 and 15 mil. The ones in the middle help you press the tops back on, and also they're good for roller bottles. So you can use that to put a roller on as a side note. So, okay, so now you've got your container, you've got your bottles, and now what do we put in it, right? So the first thing you're going to want is digestion for sure. Nothing is worse being on the go and having tummy troubles, right? So definitely make sure one of your bottles is digested. I love this oil because it's so very practical and fast acting. Another thing that you might want to put in there is our new ginger drops. This is a product that has been recently released. And it's kind of like a lozenge that you can use in your mouth. Just suck on that for a while and settle that tummy as well. Very handy and practical to travel with. So, peppermint is a very versatile oil that you can use for lots of different things. It's one that you'll want to have in your kit as well for head tension, tummies, cooling if anyone gets overheated. But another great little application, like I said, that travels well is peppermint beadlets. So, this is a tiny little capsule and you put it in your mouth. You can pop it in your mouth by biting it with your teeth or letting it dissolve. You can also just swallow it if you prefer to do that. But anyway, that gives you all the benefits of peppermint as well and travels well. So you're going to want some tea tree oil in your first aid kit, also known as Melaleuca. This oil is fantastic for lots of issues with the skin. So take a look in your book and also learn from the videos this week on some many uses for that Melaleuca or tea tree oil that you have in there. Okay. Next one would be lavender. Lavender is extremely soothing to the skin, also to the mind. So you can use it for calming. It's very good to apply after bug bites or any kind of skin abrasions. That will help soothe that. So keep lavender handy. Also good if you get a little too much sun or if you touch something that's hot. So um, the next oil is helichrysum. Now, this is one we don't cover in oil camp specifically. And this is an investment oil. I know it's probably not one that everybody buys right away because it is a little pricier, but it's worth every penny because of its very specific applications. One of its uses specifically in a first aid kit, I'm going to let you look up in your research because of compliance. I can't tell you everything that I want to tell you about this oil, but it's one that you're definitely going to want in your first aid kit. But it has a lot of other uses that are very specific and beneficial to the body. It's worth that investment as soon as you can to get that bottle of helichrysum. So the next one is breathe. Breathe is one that everybody uses because things happen and our noses get stopped up. Maybe our breathing isn't as free as we would like, especially during times of exercise or activity, sports activity, hiking out in the woods, whatever. Breathe will come to the rescue and open those breathing passageways for you. So keep that one nearby. Also available are Breathe drops. They travel very well. And these are ones that you can put in your mouth and just utilize as you're doing these activities. Um, and also, if you're just feeling a little stopped up, those help open you up. Along the same lines is On Guard. So we have On Guard drops. These also come in beadlets, just like those peppermint beadlets I showed you. But that's a good way to help a scratchy throat. Um, any of the uses that you would use On Guard for, you can use the beadlets or the lozenges as well. If you don't have room to put all of your bottles of oil in there, that's one that you can kind of substitute with those other products if needed. Just a couple of last items. Correct-X is an essential oil ointment, so of course that makes sense to have in a first aid kit. It is non-petroleum based and it has all the goodness of essential oils in an ointment that you can apply easily, and it's very soothing. Another thing that's very useful is Deep Blue Rub. Of course, if you're out and about and you're active, you might pull or strain or have occasional pains, aches somewhere. So we love our Deep Blue Rub. It comes in a large tube usually, but thankfully we have these little sample packs that fit quite well in our first aid kit that we're making. So get a box of those. There's 10 in a box, and that'll be something that you can keep with you. A few other ideas, maybe some tweezers would be a good thing to keep in there just in case someone gets a splinter that needs to come out. Depending on the time of year, like in the spring, summer, and fall, I keep Parashield in my first aid kit. Parashield is a blend specifically for keeping bugs away, and I find myself out and about. I didn't really realize I was going to be out at the ballpark late at night, or a friend has us over. I didn't realize we were cooking out, right? So you always want to have some Parashield handy so you can prevent. Um, the bugs being attracted to you and be ready for that whenever. Another idea is your favorite emotion oil. I like to be prepared for anything. That means physical and emotional. So you might consider putting your favorites in there. Maybe it's Serenity, Balance, any of the emotional aromatherapy oils, Elevation. They're all wonderful. So you pick your favorite, and maybe if you find yourself dealing with some emotions more than others, get one specific for that. But I love that we can be prepared emotionally and physically. One other thing I wanted to show you are these lid stickers that make things very handy for labeling. You can quickly find the oil you need if it's labeled well um, in your first aid kit. So you can put one of these on those. And you have these. They came in your enrollment package. So if you haven't found them yet, open up that book that came with your enrollment kit, and they're right in the middle of that book. If you can't locate them or you need more, they're 50 cents on doTERRA.com. So you cannot beat that deal, and it makes labeling and keeping up with your oils and products very easy. So I hope this has been helpful to you today. I would suggest making a kit for yourself, your spouse, your kids. They can keep them in their desk at work, their backpack or locker at school. Um, and just be careful not to leave oils in the hot car like in the summer. Heat does destroy the oils. So just put them in a protected place. But if you go with a keychain like this, it has a clip on it, and you can clip it to a purse, backpack, or wherever to take that in out of the heat with you so they can always be with you and not left behind in the car. So hope it's helpful, and happy oiling.